Good evening. A friend of mine recommended that I read a story called My Immortal. So I found it on fanfiction.net, a website I haven't been to in years. And I found I think the original has been taken off and this is a mirror. And it seems like it's bundled some chapters together, so I shouldn't need to switch over very often. Unfortunately, I also know that this is one of the most infamously bad fanfics on the internet. I guess I can't really force myself to keep. That's not right. I can't prolong this any longer. I better just start reading. And special thanks, get it, because I'm gothic. Hello. To my GF, ew, not in that way. Raven, Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the story and spelling. You probably need her help. You rock. Justin, you're the love of my depressing life. You rock too. MCR rocks. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. And if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. Well, unfortunately for her, but unfortunately for everyone, I do know who Amy Lee is. I'm not related to Jared Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie. Um, we're not very far into this. We're like a minute in and I'm already creeped out. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace all around it, and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put out my middle finger at them. Okay. Hey, Ebony, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. How am I going to do this? I sound a bit like a girl, but not really. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly. That hurt. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. Okay. Anne, is it good? Please tell me, Fangs. Okay, since you asked, no. No, it's not. Hello. Chapter 2. Anne, thanks to Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the chapter. By the way, prep stop flamming my story, okay? XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. The weather here is really weird. Like, I get that it's England, but even so. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. You can just buy bottled blood in England? That's pretty amazing. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was a hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. It sounds like it'd be difficult to close. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. Over the boots? That doesn't sound good. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend, Willow, Anne, Raven disses you, woke up then and grinned at me. She flipped her long waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her 4 screen eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. I'm not even going to attempt anymore. OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yes, that very, very short exchange. Does Willow stalk Ebony? Yeah, so, I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied flirtily. Guess what? He said. What? I asked. Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. So I guess Good Charlotte is a wizard band now? Oh my fucking god, I screamed. I love GC. They are my favorite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. Chapter 3. Anne, stop flammin' the story prep's okay. Otherwise, thanks to the Gothic people for the good reviews. I don't even want to attempt to answer this. Fangs Agen Raven. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't own this. Like the fanfic. And even the author's trying to claim that it's not theirs. Or the lyrics for Good Charlotte. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Well, at least she learned to put them on the right way around this time. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. I put a matching fishnet on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. So, like, what? Did she look like a raccoon? Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. So, you put on foundation for everyday use, but not for a concert? Okay. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a simple plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. And a La Folk Q boys wear it, okay? Well, now I feel the urge to just scrub it all off my face. Hey, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666, and flew to the place for the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. I don't think you smoke all drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold, you're covered in blood, they're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom, she sets you free into this life, sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to that song. No one would try to say that you do. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Did we read the same book? Watch the same film? I don't think we did. Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hilary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. Is Hilary Duff just a Simpson in this? The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got GC concert tees. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 4. And I said, stop flamming, okay? Ebony's name is Enoby, not Mary Sue, okay? If you can't even decide on the name for your protagonist, then I think we can all call her whatever we want. Draco is so in love with her that he is acting deferent. They knew each other before, okay? Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. They don't specify that he landed the car first, so I just imagine them falling out. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony? He asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness, and then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, just as Draco kissed me passionately. Draco climbed up on top of me, and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top, and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra. And then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time? Oh, 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 I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm. And then... What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was... Dumbledore. Okay. From what I've heard, it only gets worse. Chapter 5. And stop flaming. If you flam, it means you're a prep or a poser. The only reason Dumbledore swore is 'cause he had a headache, and on top of that, he was mad at them for having sex. P.S. I'm not updating until I get 5 good reviews. Dumbledore made, and Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. You ludicrous fools, he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. And I'm guessing that the teachers must know that she's a vampire because they're not making any comments. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest, he yelled in a furious voice. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. How dare you? Demanded Professor Snape. And then Draco shrieked, Because I love her! Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, Fine, very well. You may go up to your rooms. So the gist of that conversation was, they were having sex in the Forbidden Forest. Why did you have sex? I love her. Well, I guess we can't punish you for love. Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. Are you okay, Ebony? Draco asked me gently. Yeah, I guess, I lied. I went to the girl. She has a really good habit of lying. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom, and he started to sing I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back to his room. Well, we're 5 chapters in. I think there's, wasn't there 43? So we're already about a ninth of the way in. I can do this. Chapter 6. Anne, shut up, perhaps okay? P.S. I would not update until you give me good reviews. If only they didn't give her any good reviews. The next day I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was all ripped around the end, and a matching top with red skulls on it and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray-painted my hair with purple. In the great hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk and a glass of red blood. Look, don't drink blood and blood, just for the same reasons you wouldn't drink blood and milk. Suddenly someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up, because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's all right. What's your name? I questioned. My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. Why? I exclaimed. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. Well, I am a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. The surprise is sex. Chapter 7. Bring Me to Life. Anne. Well, okay, you guys, I'm only writing this because I got 5 good reviews. And by the way, I won't write the next chapter till I get 10 good vons. Stove flaming or I'll report you. Ebony isn't a Marie Sue, okay? She isn't perfect. She's a Satan It's. She has problems, and she's depressed for God's sake. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings on my nails and red nail polish. And, see, does that sound like a Does that sound like a Marusu to you? I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then we started Frenching passively, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked, and then he put his boy's thingy in mine and we had sex. See, is that stupid? Yes! I'm not sure I understand the question. Oh, Draco, I screamed while getting an orgasm. Well, when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo that I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody Gothic writing, were the words, Vampire. I was so angry. You bastard! I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. She doesn't know anything. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway? I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom, where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. "Vampire Potter, you motherfucker," I yelled. And no, I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. Chapter 8. Anne, stop flassing, okay? If you do, deprep. I'm sorry. If you do, deprep. That's making me laugh for some reason. And one moment, I'm gonna Google what flassing is. There isn't a definition. Not really. Okay. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back. "Ebony, it's not what you think," Draco screamed sadly. "My friend, Bloody? B. Luddy?" Mary Smith smiled at me understatedly. She flipped her long, waist-length gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood she was wearing color contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. "Hermione was kidnapped when she was born? Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it? She still has nightmares about it and is very haunted and depressed? It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger? Since she has converted to Satanism, she is in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor? I don't think your religion has any bearing on what house you're in." "What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit?" Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. "Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco." "Isn't it the other way around?" I shouted at him. Everyone gasped. "I don't know why Ebony—" "Point of view change? Could you at least notify us?" I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony, for a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid, preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He had gone through some horrible problems, and now he was gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. "But I'm not going out with Draco anymore," said Vampire. "Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard," I screamed. I ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest, where I had lost my virility to Draco, and then I started to bust into tears. Chapter 9. Anne, stop flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is from the movie, okay? It's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Besuids? I said he had a headache, and the resin snap doesn't lick Harry now, is 'cause he's Christian, and Vampire is a Satanist. MCR rocks. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then all of a suddenly, an horrible man with red eyes and no nose flew and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie, and was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. I never saw this coming. "No," I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted "Imperious," and I couldn't run away. "Crookshanks?" I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. "Ebony," he yelled, "thou must kill Vampire Potter." I thought about Vampire and his sexy eyes and his gothic black hair, and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remembered that Draco had said that I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No shit. Like, you can have my title now. You're the ultimate detective now. "No, Voldemort," I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. "No, please," I begged. "Thou must," he yelled. If thou dost not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude you're so R-word on his face. I hath telekinesis, he answered cruelly, and if you doth not kill vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad, and I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram, get it? Between Joel Madden and Jared Way. Are you okay? I asked. No, he answered. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me. I expelled, he said, all depressed, and we went back to Hogwarts together, making out. Chapter 10. Anne, stop it, you gay F-words. If you do not like my story, then fuck off. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle effort, Al, and she and vampire are evil. That's why they moved houses, okay? I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. I am the lead singer of it and I play guitar. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, although we call him Diabolo now. He has black hair now with blue streaks in it, and Hagrid. Only today, Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a C-O-R-S-S. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a stake. Wrong stake, I believe. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Chorus Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena. Weren't you just saying you were writing songs? And at the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry. But I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you tell me? He shouted. Wait, hang on. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you? You fucking poser muggle bitch. See? Is that out of character? I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery? And I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. See, that's basically nuts swearing, and this time he was really upset, and we'll see? Ebony Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists. Didn't you say earlier that won't kill him because he's a vampire? Okay. We're a quarter of the way in. Give or take a few chapters. I'll be okay. And I said step flaming up, perhaps. See if this chapter is stupid. It deals with really serious issues. See for yourself if it's stupid. Bro, thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. No, I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her fuck off and ran away to my room, crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went to my room because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both of my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I left my phone in the lounge room. I could have set the mood. Oh well. I grabbed a stake and almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it sandily. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't believe it. Then I looked out my window and screamed. Snap was spying on me and he was taking a videotape of me. And Lupin was masticating to it? Doesn't mastication mean chewing? They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking perv, stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Mason on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra, he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No, he shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand and suddenly... Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student. Hagrid paused angrily. But I'm also a Satanist. This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. Lupin held the camera up triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I didn't know whether to be shocked and happy, or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snap asked in a little afraid voice. Because he was afraid, it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her. Okay, that's the first quarter of this done. Okay. I think I'll be okay. Enjoy the show, and remember, after reading this, drinking bleach isn't the answer. I'll try to remember that. And stop F-ing okay. Hagrid is a pedo too. A lot of people in American schools are licked at. I wanted to address that issue. How do you know Snap I ain't Christian. Plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? We literally never see Cedric again. I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Draco had given me, in case anything happened to him. He told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must both go together. So, Ebony's dating a Bakugan now? Okay. No, I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream. OMFG, no, my scar hurts. And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it. and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it to a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me. Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage? Uh, uh, Voldemort has him bondage. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office, now recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came to my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. Ennaby, I need to tell you something, he said in a V-serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway. Doesn't it line your coffin? And I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic. No, Ennaby, Hagrid says. Those are not roses. What, are they goths too, you proser prep? I asked, as I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. Were you angry? Were you furious as well that he'd brought you roses of the pink variety? I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton P video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated. See, is that spelled wrong? Yes. Yes, it's spelled wrong. He added to it, he added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed the wand to the pink roses. Those aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell, that's an MCR song, I corrected wisely. I know, I was just warming up my vocal cordes. Then he screamed, Patulus merengo mi cliramasio. For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute, especially for Raven. I love you, girl. Imo nato okeo. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Was it black too? Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you. Now what the fuck is Draco? Dead in his room? Though I don't know. Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Ennaby, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in the flames? Haha, you reviewers, flames, get it? You must find Ursula first, okay? I have found myself, okay, you mean old man. Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. You are a liar, Prof. Dumbledore. Dumbledore. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and I put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped at the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and high-heeled boots with pictures of Billie Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of us. You look kawaii, girl, Bloody Mary said, sadly. Fangs, get it, you do too, I said sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all of the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. Weren't they in the hospital? Because they were shot several times? Whatever. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magical magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. You know, it's Tuesday. Someone's being eaten by one of the Slytherins. It's normal. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said in equally said way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then, we jumped on each other and started screwing each other? Stop it now, you horny simpletons, said Professor McGuggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I loved Draco, I shouted, and I ran away angrily. Okay. Just then he started to scream. Oh, MFG, no, my scar hurts. And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't we have this just before? Didn't we have this just before? I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage. Special thanks to Raven, my Gothic's blood sister. What the fuck are supposed to writ this? Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater is? Chapter 13. And Raven, thanks for glepping me again. I'm sorry I took her poster of Jared, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Perhaps stop flaminging. If she's doing what I think she's doing with that poster, I don't think Raven's gonna want it back. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore, Dumbledore, we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco, we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't. We need to save Draco, we begged. No, he said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said while he frowned, looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco, he moaned. Anne, don't you thick gay guys are licked so hot? Can we stop? It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. If I remember correctly, he's not a vampire. This is weird. We should probably take him to a hospital. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and he did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands just as we heard a croon voice say, Alla Kedavra. It was Voldemort. Yeah, I imagine it would be. Chapter 14. Anne, fuck off preps, okay? Raven, thanks for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was derperezed. I had to go to the hospital 'cause I slit my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating until you give me 10 god revials. Warning, some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer expression advised. We'll know if it's a lie or not when we see this through. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there, crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. "Rid my sight, you despicable preps," he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. Then suddenly he looked at me, and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. "Ebony, I love you, will you have sex with me?" he said. In this, he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? Huh? I asked. "Ennaby, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. "What the fuck? You torture my boyfriend and then he expects me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard," I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. "No," he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. "Snaketail, what art thou doing?" called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. "What's wrong, honey?" asked Draco, taking off his clothes so that we could screw. He had a sex pack, get it, because he's so sexa, and a really huge you-know-what and everything. Didn't we establish that earlier? "It's so unfair," I yielded. "Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls in preps here, except for Bloody Mary, because she's not ugly or anything?" Experience told me that plain isn't great. "Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They are such fucking sluts," answered Draco. "Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me. Didn't you just kill him? Didn't you just kill him?" "I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful?" I shouted angrily. "And don't worry, Ennaby isn't a snob or anything. She is. But a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse," I shouted, and then I ran away. Chapter 15. And stop flaming, okay? By the way, you suck from now on. Every time someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Okay. Thanks to Raven for helping. Ebony, shouted Draco sadly. "No, please come back." But I was too mad. "Whatever, now you can go and have sex with Vampire," I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank all the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short, ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was ripped in a spiky belt. Under that I put on some black ripped fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all depressed and sad as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly the guitar turned to Draco. I don't think you're in biology." "Ennaby, I love you," he shouted sadly. I did not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then, He started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it, right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, I can get this right. Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. And don't you think those guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck out of her. OMFG, I said after he was finished. Some preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss just like Hilary Duff. I fucking hate that bitch. And CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping with how sexy we looked together. And then I saw our poster that said MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked. Sorry. And then we went together. And Chapter 16. And, you know what? Shut up, okay? Prove to me you're not preps. Raven, you suck, you fucking big. Give me back my Fukijin sweet. You're supposed to read this. Raven, what the fuck, you bitch? You're supposed to do this. By the way, thanks to Brittany5655 for teaching the Japanese. Oh no. Oh no. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection. But it didn't matter because I knew we were the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with ripped red fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we started moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. That sounds like a pretty cool band name, in all honesty. What the fuck, Draco? I'm not going to a concert with you. What? What? Okay. So that was just a hallucination? Okay. I shouted angrily. Not after what happened to me last time. Even if it's MCR, and you know how much I lick them. What, because he gadgeted uncomfortably because guys don't like to talk about you-know-what? Okay. Yeah, because I yielded in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time we're going with an escort. I don't think that'll solve your problems. OMFG, what the fuck, / are you giving into the mainstream? I asked. So I guess you're a prep or a Christina or what now? No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shooted angrily. Envy, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by GC to me. I was flattened, because that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me. Okay then, I guess that I will have to, I said, and then we Frenched for a while, and then I went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there. Hajime Mashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese, so do I. That means how do you do in Japanese. By the way, Willow, that fucking poser got expelled. She failed all her classes and she skipped math. And Raven, you fucking suck. Fuck you. It serves that fucking bitch right, I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. Would shit some gothic movies like Das Nightmare before Xmas. Maybe Willow will die too, I said. Kawaii. Bloody Mare shook her head energetically, lethargically. Oh yeah, have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her, and then Lupin did it with her because he's a necrophiliac. Kawaii, I commented happily. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Uh, like telepathically? Why am I asking questions? I'm not gonna get answers. Oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear like the hot set outfit Eva. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG, totally, let's go shopping. In Hot Topic, I asked, already getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty card. No, my head snaped up. What? My head spun. I could not believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No, no, she laughed. I found some cool gothic stores near Hogwarts, that's all. Who told you about them? I asked. Sure it would be Draco or Diabolo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Or me. Yeah, she just found some gothic stores, told Hermione about them, and then Hermione tells her about them again, and she just immediately forgets. Dumbledore, she said. Let me just call our Brahms. Oh, MFFG, Dumbledore? I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk, she told me. Come on, let's go. We were going in a few punk goth stores specially for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Jared, except that not because that's impossible, and he gave me a few dresses. Hello. We only have D's for the real goths. Da real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posers there are in this town, man. I think this one's a poser too. He speaks like a surfer? You know surfer culture? He speaks like that. Yesterday Lupin and Snap tried to buy a coffee camera pouch. He shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. OMFG, no, they're gonna spy on me again. I cried, running out of the changing room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out, and a very low cut with a huge slit. Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, the salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. What, I'm actually gonna give it to you for free because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you gonna be at the concert tonight? He asked. Yeah, I am actually. I looked back at him. Hey, by the way, my name's Ebony Darkness Dementia Tara Way. What's yours? Tom Ridd, he said, and ran a hand through his black dyed hair. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, because I'm going there with my boyfriend Draco, you sick perv. I yelled angrily, but before he could beg me to go with him, Hagrid flew on his black broomstick looking worried. OMFG, Ebony, you ought to get back to the castle now. Chapter 17. Anne, I said, stop flaming destroyo. If a prep, then do not read it. You can tell whether a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If not, then rock. If you are, then fook uff. P.S. PZ, Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, please do this. I promise to give you back your poster. Look, Raven, I really don't think you want it back. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted, because he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. What the fuck, Hagrid? I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fudjucking bastard. Well, anyway, Willow came. Didn't she just die? Hagrid went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you. I answered sadly because Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it, and a black blood red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big bobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic? That's not a compliment. So, are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diabolo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they thought we were hot too. Diabolo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warped Tower. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracola. Dracola used to be called Naval, but it tuned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Naval converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercy Benz. Get it? Because we're gothic. That his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. Made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had a long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and had an amazing ethnic voice. We marched to Helena and some other songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came? Draco and I came? It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shouted angstily. Enemy, I told you to kill vampire. Thou hast failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife? Knife? Really? Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black beard. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shouted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore. And I said stop flaming. If you do, then you're a fucking prep. Thanks to Raven for the help and stuff. Urok. You're not a prep. Thanks for my suitor. P.S. The other reason Dumbledore swore is because he's trained to be gothic, so duh. Wasn't the last time this was brought up in, like, chapter 4? I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood red lipstick, and a black really low-cut leather dress that was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. I'll admit I've I've never thought of that. The night before, Draco and I went back to the skull. Get it? Skull, because I'm gothic and I like death. Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on we flew there on our brooms. Mine was black and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all around it. Draco had a black MCR boom. A black MCR boom. Just, it delivers explosions and like propels him back to Hogwarts that way. We went back to our rooms and we had You Know What to a Linkin Park song. And again, I wish I had my phone with me, because I have some really appropriate music. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There, all the walls were painted black, and the tables were black too. But you could see that there was pink pants underneath the black pant. And there were posters of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. What the fuck? I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a good Shroud t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs, and black boots and fishnets. Vampire, Dracula, and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Jared Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in because they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin but was wearing white foundation, and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. What the fuck? I shouted angrily. I thought he was wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we goths just looked at each other all disgusted and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. One. By the way, you can call me Albert, he called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we weaved to transformation. We were holding hands. Vampire looked jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Get it? Way like Jared. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry. I can't figure out why. Chapter 19. I'm not okay, I promise. And please stop flaming that story. If you do, then you're a fucking prep and you're jealous, okay? From Nook on, I'm going to Delt Ermin Reviews. By the way, Ebony did a poor blood, so der. Thanks to Raven form da help. All day we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to. That MCR concert. It had been postponed so we could all go. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut classes. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was, and he got all mad at me and started crying all hot and angsty. Weren't sensitive bi guys so hot? No one fucking understands me, he shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Bork and Dreams. He was wearing black baggy pants, a black MCR t-shirt, and a black dye. Get it? Instead of tie, because I'm gothic. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it, and a black leather mini, black high-held boots, and a cross-belly thing. My hair was all up in a messy rally high bun like Amy Lee and Gone Under. Email me if you want to see the pig. Accuse me? What about me? I growled. But, he grunted. You fucking bastard, I moaned. Okay. No, wait, it's not what it fucking looks like. He shouted, but it was too late. I knew what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, cring. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and wept as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my feces. Like Benji in the video for girls and boys, or even that is so our video. What the fuck? Go back. Go back. What? I'm guessing this is the point of no return. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Suddenly, Hagrid came. He had appearated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. What the fuck do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was with him, too. For a second, I wanted it to be Tom Ridd, or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his black wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? Yeah, this isn't creepy at all. You know who MCR are? I gasped. No, I just saw that there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to, he said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. It's more sex. I guarantee it's more sex. All day, Anne, I said I did not care what you think. Stop flamin', okay, perhaps? Thanks to Raven for the help. Oh yeah, I'll be on vacation in Transylvania for the next 3 days, so do not expect updates. All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I put on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace stuff all over it, and black gothic compact boots. MCR were going to do the concert again, since Voldemort had taken over the last one. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I slit my wrists while I watched MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to Fang Yu for Davena. I got all mad and turned it off, but sacredly I hopped inside that it was Draco so he could do it again. What the fucking hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Are you gonna come rape me or what? What? I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told us all to be careful and around him and Snap because he was a pedo. One moment. Sorry. No, actually. Get it, hell. Can I please borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend? I shouted sarcastically. Fucker, he said, going away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, some black lipstick, and some white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall doing it, and Dobby was watching? Oh my god, you ludicrous idiot. They both shooted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. Day got up, though. Normally I would have been turned on. I love seeing guys do it. But both of them were fucking preps. By the way, Snake is moved to Gryffindor now. What the fuck, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked sadistically. See, I spelled that. Only you wouldn't give them to me, Lumpkin shouted angrily. Well, you should have told me, I replied. Yeah, I'm sure that... Hey, could I borrow a condom so I can fuck the only other known pedophile in the entire school would have gone so well. You dimwit. Snake began to shoot angrily. And then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me, they both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to blackmail you, I snarked. So now next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire, looking extremely fucking hot. What the fuck? Where'd Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's being a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come? Vampire said, shaking his head. You wanna come with me? To the concert? I know you can't see it, but it's written C-U-M, and I'm not comfortable with this. Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said that his dog father, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666 on it. The one on the back said enemy on it. I don't think that's how a license plate works. I gasped. We flew to the concert hall. MCR were there, playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and his beautiful, beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard some crying. I turned and saw Draco crying in a corner. Anne, fuck off, okay? Fuck you, okay? You fucking suck. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay? 'Cause that big Ravern, 'cause it... Fuck preps. Whoops, Sozrave, and thanks for the help. By the way, Transylvania rocks rad. I even got to go see the castle where Dracula was filmed. Wasn't Dracula filmed on a soundstage? Later we all went in the skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He stated to run out of the place in a suicidal way. How do you run out of somewhere in a suicidal way? I stated to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Annabee, Vampire said comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face, like a garden pail. Okay. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. If you're a homophone, then fuck off. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invincibility coke. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility coke and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, fuck you, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bick, Vampire said under his breast. Under his breast? In a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the He can see it? Filth nodded, and then Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as... Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak. What the? He yelled, but it was too late now because we were running away from him, ruining away from him. And then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? He's crying and slitting his wrists. I think the answer is no. I guess, though, Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid. See, isn't that depressing? On the gothic red bed together. I thought you were going to your coffins. Do you just have like a pocket dimension in your coffin? As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and I suddenly had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fug and a mystery of magic walked into the school. Anne, shut the fuck up. Perhaps stop flaming, okay? If you do not like it, fuck off. I know it's Mr. Norris. It's Raven's fault, okay? You suck. No, just kidding, Raven. You fucking rock. Preps suck. All day, everyone talked about the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Oh, God, no. No! No! God, please, no. So many clothing descriptions. Standing in front of me were B semicolon Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that were attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a black baggy Simple Plan t-shirt and black baggy pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Jared Way, and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight, black, poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed off all of her cleavage, and with a white apron that said "Bich" and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it, kind of like that one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who was Jenny, was there too. She was weaving a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crabe and Goyle. It turns out that Darkness, Diabolo, Crabbe and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists with a razor. He had raped them and What? What? Please slow down. And stop. And stuff before, too. They all got so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Stanism? Stanism? Okay. OMFG, I yielded as they jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? Enemy, something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put all my fucking clothes on first, I shouted angrily. It's alright. We have to go now, and you look kawaii anyway. You're so fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, all right, I said, smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will. Okay. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went inside the great hall and looked in from a window. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. It's like, she just exists and you put your middle finger up at her. I don't think the preps are the bad guys here. Inside the great hall we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudge was there, shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Bark Lord is planning to kill all the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You are not fit to be principal any longer, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous? You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students. Very well, Dumbledore said angrily. But we cannot do this. We cannot close the school. There is only one person who is capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school. And her name is Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other. I gasped. Okay, I'm about halfway through now. About halfway through. My throat does kind of hurt a bit now. I think I'm okay, though. Okay. I'm not sure whether I should take a break or not. I think I might take a 10-minute break, if that's okay. So I will see you all in a little while.